www.st.carolschools.com. Do you want to enroll in a nursing school that offers a degree in nursing? Then St. Carol School of Nursing, the only nursing university in West Africa, is your answer. St. Carol School of Nursing is a tertiary co-educational institution offering internationally respected nursing degrees of world-class standard while incorporating bilingual ability and vehicle driving skills relevant for individuals wishing to prepare themselves for a fulfilling career in nursing. The school is also fully accredited by the National Accreditation Board and affiliated to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. St. Carol School of Nursing is admitting students to pursue the BSc Nursing program. Download application forms from our website www.stcarol.com or obtain the forms on our campus at Aplaku Botiano, about 10 minutes drive off the Wager barrier on the Accra Cape Coast Highway. For enquiries, call us on 030-293-1067 or 0245-617-790. You can email us on info@stcarolschoolofnursing.com.
Good evening, you're watching True TV News with me, Michael Ade. We are coming to you live from our studios here at Heritage Christian College in Amasaman. Let's take the headlines for tonight's bulletin. Auditor General Also, top of the bulletin tonight, Supreme Court to deliver judgment on election petition tomorrow, Thursday, March 4. Later in business, Kotoka International Airport adjudged best airport in Africa. And with news on the foreign front, Angola begins COVID immunization fight with COVAX vaccines. We have details of these plus more other stories coming up shortly. Do stay. Let's now settle for the details of the stories. Now, the Supreme Court will tomorrow, Thursday, March 4, 2021, deliver its judgment on the December 2020 presidential election. The National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, took the Electoral Commission and President Akufo-Addo to court following the 9th December 2020 declaration of Nana Akufo-Addo as the winner of the poll. Mr. Mahama, who is a former president of the Republic, contended in his petition that President Akufo-Addo did not meet the constitutional threshold for election to the high office of president and that the Electoral Commission's declaration of him as president was invalid. He had urged the court amid strong opposition from lawyers for President Akufo-Addo and the Electoral Commission to nullify the declaration and to cause a rerun between him and President Akufo-Addo. The Supreme Court will on Thursday give its verdict on the 5 issues from the pleadings for determination. Ahead of the judgment, the Ghana Journalists Association (GJA) has admonished its members to exude professionalism in their reportage on the final verdict of the Supreme Court in the election petition case. Addressing the press ahead of the verdict, President of the GJA, Roland Alfelmoni, called for non-sensational and non-partisan reportage. He is hopeful that there should not be anything tragic about Thursday's coverage of the judgment of the Supreme Court case. Away from that and to some COVID-19 news, the health minister designates Kweku Agyemang-Manu has hinted at the possibility of making the coronavirus vaccine jab compulsory for all Ghanaians, but in the short term, he said such discussions were premature.
He instead urged all Ghanaians to willingly avail themselves of the vaccination rollout which started on March 2. The former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Mike Okoye, however, shot down the possibility that a law would be enforced to compel Ghanaians to avail themselves for the vaccination. He also said through public education and sensitization, many will come on board to take the jabs. Some Ghanaians have expressed misgivings about the safety of the vaccines amid the threat of misinformation and conspiracy theories. President Akufo-Addo and his wife were vaccinated in a ceremony broadcast live on television to allay the fears of citizens. The president urged people to get vaccinated and not to believe persons casting doubts on the rollout. Ghana received 600,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine on Monday as part of the COVAX distribution program. The vaccination rollout is to be conducted in 43 districts with high infection rate. They include 25 in the Greater Accra region, 16 in the Ashanti region, and 2 in the Central region. As Ghana enters the second day of the mass vaccination, it has 5,444 active cases of the virus with 607 deaths. Ghana has had 84,023 known cases of the virus in all.
Also, the Central Regional Director of Health, Dr. Akosua Owusu-Sarpong, has stated that the COVID-19 vaccine does not cause erectile dysfunction among males, giving an assurance to persons who will be taking the vaccine. Dr. Owusu-Sarpong said men should be rest assured that the vaccines would not cause erectile problems.
At the launch of the vaccination in the Central region in Cape Coast last Monday, Dr. Owusu-Sarpong said there had been documented evidence of the vaccine's safety and efficacy, adding that it had the ability to generate appropriate immune response to fight the virus. She said there were, however, some known side effects that did not affect everyone, such as fever and feeling unwell for about 1 or 2 days, after which it dissipated. She said foreigners in the catchment areas would also qualify to be vaccinated, adding that the aim of the vaccination exercise was to reduce the spread of the disease and everybody in the catchment area would be vaccinated. Dr. Owusu-Sarpong said the effect of COVID-19 on businesses had been immense and it was important for all to make themselves available to be vaccinated as the country worked to curb its spread. The Deputy Director in charge of Public Health, Dr. Godfred Kwabena-Sarpong, said 10,290 people in 2 districts, Ewutu Senya and Ewutu Senya East, excluding persons under 18 and pregnant mothers, had been targeted to be vaccinated in the exercise. He explained that the 2 districts had been chosen because they were the high disease burden areas and epicenters in the region. He said outreach points outside the health facilities and mobile teams would be deployed for the exercise. He also urged Ghanaians to dispel myths, fears, and the misinformation, saying it was because it was safe that notable personalities, including the president, had taken the shot. He said the Ghana Health Service had taken the necessary precautions and strict monitoring to ensure persons who reacted adversely to the vaccines were promptly attended to. The Chief Director of the Central Regional Coordinating Council, Mr. Kingsley Ejebuahin, commended the government for the efforts to get the vaccines. He appealed to all in the exercise area to get vaccinated to reduce the spread of the disease.
Away from that, the Auditor General Daniel Yao Domelevo showed up at his office at the Audit Service headquarters in Accra at 8:20 a.m. this morning amid tensions with the Audit Service Board. Today marked the end of the controversial 167-day accumulated leave he was forced to take from July 1, 2020 to March 3, 2021. Mr. Domelevo has, however, refused to comment on matters surrounding his forced leave or the current controversies. The Audit Service Board has questioned Mr. Domelevo's nationality and his age. The board is claiming Mr. Domelevo should have retired in 2020. In a series of letters between the chairman of the Audit Service Board, Professor Edward Drea Ejiman, and Mr. Domlevo, the board alleged that records at the Social Security and National Insurance Trust (SNIT) provided by the Auditor General indicated that his date of birth was in 1960. But Mr. Domlevo holds that his date of birth is June 1, 1961, because the 1960 date was a mistake. He said he noticed that the 1960 date of birth was a mistake when he checked his birth details in the baptismal register of the Catholic Church in Adimra. The board also said records also showed that the hometown of Mr. Domlevo is Agbetofe in Togo, but was now Ada in the Greater Accra region. Addressing the Togo links, Mr. Domlevo said his grandfather was a native of Ada in the Greater Accra region, but migrated to Togo and stayed at Agbetofe. Despite the responses, Professor Drea has said the retired health professional will be considered a retired official whose tenure expired in June 2020. He said his outfit will be relying on the available records. Meanwhile, anti-corruption campaigner Adam Senanu, in appealing to President Akufo-Addo to ignore the additional committee going on between the Auditor General and the Audit Board, has urged him to extend the Auditor General's term in office.
According to him, the president must refuse to align with some of his representatives who are obviously against the country's corruption fight. Adam Senanu doubts the president will do as the board wants because of who he is as a renowned human rights lawyer and an anti-corruption campaigner himself. On his account, the Auditor General, Daniel Yao Domlevo, has 3 months to end his service and believes he should be allowed to wrap up with his work. The Audit Service Board says the retirement date for Auditor General Daniel Yao Domlevo was June 1, 2020. This, according to the board, is because Mr. Domlevo was born in 1960 and not 1961. In an earlier letter dated February 26, 2021, the Audit Service Board said it had discovered some irregularities and anomalies and requested an explanation. The board alleged that records at the Social Security and National Insurance Trust provided by the Auditor General indicated that his date of birth was 1960 when he joined the scheme in October 1, 1978. Again, the record also showed that the hometown of Mr. Domlevo is Agbetofe in Togo, making him non-Ghanaian, but on October 25, 1993, some changes were made. But explaining the purported anomalies, Mr. Domlevo said his grandfather was a native of Adan in the Greater Accra region, but migrated to Togo and stayed at Agbetofe. On the issue of his date of birth, Mr. Domlevo said he noticed that 1960 was a mistake when he checked his information in the baptismal register of the Catholic Church in Adiemra.
Also featuring in the bulletin tonight, the Ghana Grid Company Limited says the closure of an emergency valve at the West African Gas Pipeline Company, WAPCO, is to blame for power cuts in parts of Ghana on Wednesday, March 3, 2021. According to the company, the action ended up curtailing gas supply to some generating plants in the country.
Parts of Ghana were off from the power grid early Wednesday morning, with many Ghanaians taking to social media and other platforms to raise concerns. They claim such has been the case in the past few days and had demanded the release of a load shedding timetable from the country's power managers. GRIDCO in a statement called for calm, ensuring that engineers are currently on site working to restore gas supply and ultimately get the affected parts back on the grid. GRIDCO had given a similar excuse for power cuts last week. According to the company, on Saturday, February 27, 2021, gas supply challenges emanating from the offshore field led to the loss of power. To avert a total system shutdown, power supply to some bulk supplier points was disrupted, causing outrage in parts of the country. Key stakeholders in the power value chain, including WAPCO, are currently working to restore gas supply shortly. Meanwhile, arrangements have been made for other generating plants to come online to restore supply to the affected areas. Any inconveniences caused is deeply regretted.
And now a senior audiologist at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Mr. Joseph Omani Boateng, has stated that the lack of facilities in the country to treat hearing losses is the major cause of the high rate of cases being recorded annually.
As part of this year's World Hearing Day celebration, the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital has put in place measures to screen babies from the ages of 0 to 3 years to help examine children since they are likely to suffer hearing loss at their age. In an interview with Mr. Omane Boateng explained that the facility in the country that treat hearing impairment are not enough, and that is a major challenge for them. According to him, the hearing aid centers in the country are not enough, and we just have a few.
And that will be all for the local stories. We return shortly to do business.
My name is Roberta.
And my name is Comfort.
And this is our business,
Idan Snail and Mushroom Farm.
Within HCC, there is a Center for Entrepreneurship, Philanthropy and Ethics for students to bring out their business idea.
Our business idea was snail and mushroom farm because we saw the high demand in snail and the nutritional value of mushroom, and we saw snail as the new gold in West Africa.
We are one of the 20 teams to go after the CEP money to set up our business. Through presentation, pitches, and hard work, we became one of the 8 final teams.
Along with the prize of 15,000 Ghana cedis given to us by the ACC, they also support us with directors who are helping us through mentorship, directing us, coaching us to get our business set. We are hoping by the following year we'll start employing other people outside campus to help us to get hand in hand to expand the business and get moving on. One thing I've learned from ACC is to be ethical in all business that you do. No matter how the challenges, you have to face the world so that you can succeed. Even though there is high rates of unemployment in Ghana, at ACC, they train us to become entrepreneurs. So before graduation, you own your own business. This is our business, and now we are waiting to graduate and now employ other graduates to come and work for us.
You're still watching Truth TV News at 8 with me, Michael Aldo. Time now to do business. Now, the Bank of Ghana has issued a directive on unclaimed balances and dormant accounts for banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions. The directive seeks to ensure that balances in accounts that have been left unattended to for over a period of time are managed under a special account. The account is referred to as the Dormant Account Register. The directive by the Bank of Ghana, which is pursuant to Section 92 of the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016, explained that a dormant account could be a current or savings account with credit balances and their derivatives with no customer-initiated activity by the account holder or a third party on the account holder's behalf for a period of 2 years. In the case of the fixed deposits of investment scheduled by a customer to roll over upon maturity and the rollover has persisted for more than 3 consecutive rollovers or 2 years, a regulated financial institution shall initiate actions to re-identify the customer, renew consent to continue the instructions, and update the customer's records. The directive shall, however, not be applied to accounts that are subjects of litigation, fraud, investigations by a regulatory authority or law enforcement agencies and others. Where the regulated financial institution is unable to contact the fixed deposit account holder pursuant to subsection 7, the regulated financial institution shall transfer the funds to the dormant account register. Where an account becomes dormant and the balance is less than an amount determined by the Bank of Ghana, the regulated financial institution may transfer the account to the dormant account register or close the account after due notice to the customer of the decision to close the account and transfer funds to the customer or the Bank of Ghana where the customer could not be reached. The Bank of Ghana stated that a dormant account shall continue to be covered under the Ghana Deposit Protection Scheme until transfer to the Bank of Ghana. The directive requires a regulated financial institution to take adequate steps to contact an account holder at least 3 months prior to an account falling into dormancy and also take all necessary steps to identify a dormant account holder prior to initiating dormant account reactivation. Importantly, in an effort to locate a dormant account holder, a regulated financial institution shall also not disclose the account balances and any other sensitive information to any third party. The directive also added a regulated financial institution shall display a poster in all banking halls on the process of reclaim of funds of dormant accounts transferred to the Bank of Ghana. This shall include information on how accounts of customers may be regarded as dormant. The directive said a regulated financial institution shall display a poster in all banking halls on the process of reclaim of funds or dormant accounts transferred to the Bank of Ghana. This shall include information on how accounts of customers may be regarded as dormant. Also, a regulated financial institution that receives a request from a dormant account holder of funds transferred to the Bank of Ghana shall take steps to validate and seek the claim on behalf of the claimant at the Bank of Ghana. According to the BOG, financial institutions that breach provisions of this directive shall be liable to an administrative penalty of no more than 10,000 penalty units. Notwithstanding the penalties specified, the Bank of Ghana may impose any other penalty or take any remedial action that the BOG considered appropriate. And also in business tonight, Ghana's Kotoka International Airport has been adjudged the best airport in Africa that handles 22 meters to 5 meters passengers per annum by Airports Council International's ACI.
The ACI's Airport Service Quality Awards, which highlighted the world's best airports as judged by their customers, is based on the views of customers in 2020. It measures passenger satisfaction across 34 key performance indicators. Given the challenging situation posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Kotoka International Airport was recognized for listening to its customers and adapting the services and experience it offers to meet changing needs and expectations under the current very trying circumstances. The airport operator Ghana Airports Company Limited, since the outbreak of the pandemic, intensified its cleaning routine and has undertaken fumigation exercise of the entire facility twice. Again, though the airport was scheduled to close passenger traffic for about 5 months, the ability of the airport managers working with government agencies to institute an antigen test in time for the reopening of the facility on September 1, 2020 was lauded by passengers and governments around the world and served as a model for others. The Kotoka International Airport is also among the first few airports in Africa that have received ACI's Airport Health Accreditation Certificate. ACI World Director General Louis Felipe de Oliveira said ACI's Airport Service Quality Awards represents the highest possible accolade for airport operators around the world. This year, more than any other, the awards recognize those airports that have listened to their customers and adapted the services and experiences they offer to meet changing needs and expectations under very trying circumstances. More than half of the world's travelers pass through an ASQ airport. ACI adapted the rigorous quality control process for the ASQ ASQ Awards program to ensure the benchmarking and findings from the ASQ surveys remained of the highest quality during the COVID-19 pandemic. Other winners include Moi International Airport in Mombasa, Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, Kenya, and Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, Nigeria.
And that will be all for business. Sports news is next.
No. I feel weak and tired. No, this feeling is different.
Chanka. Adrenaline, this is the medicine. Your friend Chanka. Onumwa emampomudin. The boni paduano emokutia nyarawa.
You say what?
This is Chanka.
Drink. Numbi drinking now this year. Yes, that's right.
Chanka.
Yes, Chanka.
I feel good and stronger than before.
I told you, Chanka is our secret.
Chanka. Ebwa wuni peduana manu kutia nyarewa. Taifofa 202. Kutia malaria. Defaton 202. Ebema wedi diye. FDE arisho ejadi enkra to imaji atumuse eye.
In sports news tonight, ex-Hearts of Oak centre-back Vincent Atenga is edging closer to joining Great Olympics after leaving Kuwait's top-flight side Al Shabab in 2020.
Ghana defender Vincent Atenga is inching closer to a move to Great Olympics in the ongoing transfer window. Atenga is available on a free transfer after leaving Kuwaiti top-flight side Al Shabab in 2020. The former Hearts of Oak centre-back is